Good morning, class. Welcome to another learning adventure in Grade 8 English. As any traveler knows, there's no better way to start a new adventure than searching for reasons to travel. One good reason why we love to travel is to try out new food, just like the cheesy hamburger that we got to taste in our previous adventure. From there, you discovered that the top bun, the fillings, and the bottom bun should work together to make a complete hamburger. Likewise, in a written speech, you learned that the introduction, the body, and the conclusion should work together to make a complete and unified speech. But a speech should not only be unified, it should also be coherent. To make a coherent speech, cohesive devices must be used. There are many different types of cohesive devices: reference words, repeated words, substitution, and transitional words and phrases. Today's learning adventure focuses on transitional words and phrases as a cohesive device useful for writing an informative speech, which is your final test for this lesson. By now, you are probably hungry, so I won't keep you any longer. However, to go on a new adventure without a map is impossible. You might get lost, or you might turn back. It is therefore important to map out what you need to know, what you should understand, and what you should be able to do to reach your target destination. Hence, as you go every phase of the lesson, you should be able to carry out the following learning goals. First, define what transitional words and phrases as a cohesive device are. Second, identify common examples of transitional words and phrases classified according to purpose. Third, explain the different uses of transitional words and phrases in sentences and paragraphs. And last, use appropriate transitional words and phrases in writing an informative speech. Be reminded also that before you reach your target destination, you have to pass through a series of challenging tests. By doing so, you will be able to make your learning adventure even more exciting and rewarding. Are you ready for your learning test?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
If
Yes, sir.
so, join me now in quizzes.com for your first test. To join quizzes, enter the code that you see on screen. Here, you are going to answer a 5-item test which aims to test your knowledge about your target concept or skill. In doing so, you will read excerpts lifted from various speeches. Each excerpt contains transitional words and phrases enclosed in parentheses. Your task is to choose the most appropriate transitional word that completes the excerpt. If you're ready, let's begin. All done. Let's see the result. Good one, Lucy. Now, question number 2. All done. Question number 2 was led by Lucy still. Let's have question number 3. All done? Let's see who top. Question number 3. Oh, it's Honey Joy. Good job. Now let's have question number 4. All done? All right. Let's see the result. It's still Honey Joy. And the last question? All done. Let's see the result. It's Jerick. Great job, Jerick. Congratulations for finishing test 1. You are now ready for your second test. To do that, join me in mentimeter.com. To join, enter the code that you see on top of the screen. It's 2906081-1. Here, you are going to arrange the given jumbled words and phrases in the correct order in order to come up with a good definition of transitional words and phrases. If you're ready, you may begin. According to Chin, built-in signal used between sentences to show the connection between words and in a paragraph. How about the others? According to Marcelia, built-in signal used to show connection between sentences in a paragraph. Mary has written paragraph, sentence are built-in signals, transitional words and phrases to show the words connection between in a sentence. How about this one? Built-in signals used to show. All right. To show between words, built-in signals between sentences and in a paragraph for honey. Okay. The voting is closed. Evidently, no one got it correctly. So let's look at the correct answer. Transitional words and phrases are built-in signals used to show the connection between words in a sentence and between sentences in a paragraph. That definition was cited from Padilla et al. In their book, Read Critically and Write Effectively in School and at Work. Now that you have a general idea about what transitional words and phrases are, it is now time to understand this concept better with some examples. As a common knowledge, doing trouble research is the best way to maximize your experience once you get there. It eases your apprehension by feeling more prepared, and the more you read about your destination, the more you will build excitement. That is certainly the reason why I ask you to do collaborative learning about your target concept or skill prior to joining today's learning adventure. Furthermore, you were asked to consider using multimodal text as a method of presentation. And today, I am excited to see and learn from your presentation. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
If
sir.
so, the screen is
Yes,
yours.
sir.
Let's begin with the girls.
Let's think back of our cheesy cheese burger. Transitional words and phrases add a unique flavor to the paragraph and make it easier to move from one paragraph to the next. You might also include transitional words and phrases in other parts of the paragraph, just like it want ketchup, mustard, mayo, cheese, barbecue sauce, and other delectable condiments in other parts of the burger. Just another way to add flavor. Good day, everyone. I am Ebony Aurelio, and together we will master this learning competency while staying at home. Also joining us in this learning journey is Honey Joy, who will be sharing with us some common useful transition words and phrases used to show example and illustration.
Thank you, Ebony. If you want to give examples or illustration, use one of the following transitional words and phrases. Thus, for example, for instance, namely, to illustrate, in other words, in particular, specifically, or as an illustration. Let's learn some more from Lucy.
Thank you, Honey. If you want to add information, use one of the following transitional words and phrases. In addition to, furthermore, moreover, besides, also, again, first, second, last, or finally. Back to you, Ebony.
Thank you, Lucy. Apparently, some transitional words and phrases are also used to show time. For example, after, before, then, next, last, first, second, soon, meanwhile, or previously. Let's learn more from Mary.
Thank you, Bonnie. If you want to show contrast, use one of the following transitional words and phrases. In contrary, but, however, nevertheless, despite, in contrast, yet, on the other hand, since, or while. Back to you, Honey.
As a final note, many transitional words and phrases in the time category have other uses. For examples, first, second, or last are also used to add information or list examples. Therefore, be sure to choose one that corresponds correctly to the relationship between the two sentences or between the two paragraphs it bridges. That's all for today. Thank you for being with us in this wonderful exploration.
Let's look at the presentation of the boys.
In today's generation, there are a lot of ways we can convey our thoughts to another person, even when we're both on different sides of the world. We can use various media like WhatsApp, Viber, and Messenger. Transitional words and phrases are like those medium. They are cues that have the readers to interpret the idea a text develops. Good day, everyone. My name is John Ryan Marsilia, and I will be your news anchor for this session. Today, we will share you some common examples of transitional words and phrases classified according to the purpose they serve in sentences and paragraphs. Let's begin with the first one. Transitional words and phrases used to show similarity or comparison. This will be discussed further by Jared Pobre.
Thank you, Ryan. If you want to show similarity or comparison, use one of the following transitional words or phrases: similarity, likewise, in like fashion, in like manner, or in the same way. Transitional words and phrases can also be used to show emphasis. This will be introduced by Shane Patrick Carrera.
Thank you, Jerry. If you want to show emphasis, use one of the following transitional words and phrases. Above all, indeed, truly, of course, certainly, surely, in fact, really, in truth, or again. Kim, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Shane. Did you know that transitional words and phrases are also used to show consequence or result? If you want to show consequence or result, use one of the following. Thus, consequently, hence, accordingly, for this reason, therefore, so, because, since, due to, or as a result. Let us learn more from Jomer.
Thank you, Kim. If you want to give a suggestions, use one of the following transitional words and phrases. For this purpose, to this end, with this in mind, or with this purpose in mind. Back to you, Ryan.
Thank you, Jomer. And as a final note, transitional words and phrases are not only used to show comparison, emphasis, consequence, or suggestion. They are also used to summarize ideas. So, if you want to give a summary, use one of the following transitional words and phrases. On the whole, in summary, in brief, to sum up, or all in all. That would be all for today. Thank you for learning English with us.
Having learned the different uses of transitional words and phrases, I am sure you would be excited to use them yourself. Are you ready to practice using transitional words and phrases?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
If so, let's continue working on your learning tests. Go back to mentimeter.com. Enter the new code. It's 84309048. Here, you are going to read an excerpt from the speech delivered by President Rodrigo Roa Duterte during the 75th UN General Assembly held on September 22, 2020 at New York, USA. Your task is to pick out all the transitional words and phrases used in the excerpts. If you're ready, you may begin. Alright, go ahead. I'm sorry for the spelling of the word right. It's a technical error. It has to be single I. It's WRITE. I stand corrected. Sorry, class. Okay. Indeed, to this end, after all, again, saw. Okay. Last 10 seconds. To this end. Alright, voting is closed. So we have after all to this end. Also, despite, indeed, hence, so, since, again, majority answered to this end. Congratulations for completing this test. Let's learn some more. Enter the new code. It's 87428780. Here you are going to write original sentences using the transitional words and phrases that you found in the excerpts that you have just read. If you're ready, you may begin. According to Hani, the Philippines reached 1 million coronavirus cases since the pandemic began. Ryan says, to this end, several COVID-19 vaccines have been introduced. No matter where you go in life or how old you get, there is always something new to learn about. After all, life is full of surprises. That's according to Mary. One last sentence from Lucy. Despite the health risks, millions of frontliners continue to do their jobs during the COVID-19 pandemic. Congratulations, everyone, for finishing this test. Now, to provide you more opportunities to practice your target concept or skill, here are other additional learning activities you will need to work on during your asynchronous test. To end, take a moment to reflect about the lessons you have learned as well as the activities you have worked. Then, complete the following sentences. Do you have any questions so far?
None.
None, sir.
If there are no more questions, that would be all for today. Thank you for joining me and see you again on our next learning adventure. Bye everyone.